Republican Congressman Steve King of Iowa is in Mexico City. He's there trying to find ways to stop the flood of people entering this country illegally. The congressman says one of the worst offenders in the United States is the U.S. government, hiring foreigners without proper documents or papers. Congressman King joins us tonight from Mexico City. Congressman, good to have you here. I know you're there with Congressman Berman of California, Congressman Capps, Congresswoman Lofgren, Zoe Lofgren. It's an interesting group. What are you all trying to accomplish?
Well, we're down here on a Woodrow Wilson International Scholarship Study, and the idea is to expand our relations with Mexico, and we're talking directly about the terminology they use here is migration policy, our international relations between the United States and Mexico, what the long-term prospects are, and the economics of this country here. There is just a wealth of information to be exchanged and a lot of intractable problems that need to be addressed.
Well, that group, you seem to be the most, amongst that group, the most concerned about border security. Any discussion at all of concern on the part of the Mexican government about border security? Let's start there.
Well, generally, the theme that comes out of the Mexican government and the representatives that we've spoken to so far is, United States of America, you need to understand that you need to pass a comprehensive immigration plan. What's good for Mexico is good for the United States.
Well,
I mean, it's pretty much the White House line.
Representatives of the Mexican government open to the idea that it's probably irresponsible and I would think embarrassing for them to be exporting their poverty and as many as 20 million of their citizens to this country because they're leaving impoverished half of their population. Their government has been so corrupt over these decades and so ineffective. And we're exporting billions of dollars in capital to Mexico.
Well, we have discussed those numbers, and I did give a presentation, I guess I would say it was impromptu, while the Undersecretary for Foreign Relations for the North American continent ate his dessert today, about those points, about the dollars that flow from the United States into Mexico, $25 to $30 billion in transfer payments and wages, $65 billion in illegal drugs coming into the United States, of which somewhere between 13 and 48 billion of that finds its way back to Mexico. The incentives in Mexico for them to help us with this really aren't there when you compare it to the billions of dollars of incentives that they have to let this happen, plus the export of the vitality of their nation.
Have you detected any appetite on the part of the Mexican government to cooperate and meaningfully secure that northern border and to end illegal and just shameless immigration of its people to this country?
There were a few words that were spoken about working in partnership and cooperation, but I can tell you that in the room I'm the only one that wants to build a fence and a wall, and they seem to think that that's counterproductive and offensive to them. And so you've heard this all before.
But it's not offensive. But it's not offensive to export poverty and 20% of their population to the United States. My God, what a sense of shame, Congressman. We think,
and it's no way to run a country.
Well, either there or here, for that matter. Congressman Steve King, we thank you very much. Appreciate it.